Kyepha, did you see the news? What news? You have 10,000 subscribers! Oh golly! Well, this calls for a big celebration, I guess. Whoa. Not only have I hit a major personal milestone on YouTube, but I hit the big number on Christmas Day. I seriously still cannot believe how much this channel has grown since I first started making these silly videos, and I just want to say a massive thank you for all of the support you've shown me here on YouTube, and thank you so much for subscribing and watching my videos. It really means a lot. And now that the holidays are over and the year has turned 2026, it is time to get the creative juices flowing once more and make some more fakemon. Some of you may remember back at the end of 2024, I made Gigantamax forms for middle stage Pokemon, both because I don't think it had been done before, and also I think middle stage Pokemon are very overlooked. I've actually made a couple videos about them. Unlike Mega Evolution, the Gigantamax phenomenon can happen to any Pokemon. It does not need to be fully evolved. So I wonder, what would some more first stage Pokemon look like if they were able to Gigantamax? Well, let's find out. Also, if your New Year's resolution is to subscribe to more channels on YouTube, then I volunteer as tribute. Subscribe to my channel. Now, normally I make my videos in just one day. If you ever want to start making Fakemon videos on YouTube, here is what not to do. I usually wake up, think of an idea, or steal one from the comments below, and then I draw all of the Fakemon, polish the artwork, script, record, animate, and edit all before the sun goes down. If you've ever wondered why I usually upload my videos late, this is why. It's a terrible plan. Don't do it. This time I drew everything well in advance because this year I'm being very organized. Also, my holidays have been the busiest they've ever been for me, so it's the least I could do to ease my workload. The first Pokemon I decided to G-Max was Zigzagoon. You know me, I'm the Zigzagoon guy. I don't even use my own profile picture in my socials. I use Zigzagoon. I can't help myself. I drew these in December, so my idea for the Zigzag guy was to make it like a giant pine tree because, you know, Christmas and stuff. But it really wasn't panning out how I wanted it to. It's funny because when I'm doing the drawing and the drawing doesn't feel right, then I'm very quick to just scrap it. But actually, looking at it retrospectively, it ain't bad. The biggest hurdle for me to overcome was actually limb placement. I have no idea where its little arms should go, and if its feet should be visible or discreetly cloaked beneath its fur. It also just didn't feel super giant to me, which, you know, is a very key feature of Gigantamax Pokemon, would you believe it? Eventually, I got the claws and stuff sorted and moved on to polishing some of the finer detail around its head, and also adding in ears. I was vibing, you know, it's not looking too bad. I like it when Pokemon designs reference their names somehow, so I have these little Z's that form at the ends of its eye mask. It just, you know, it's cute. The real nail in the coffin, however, were the eyes. I had drawn everything else. I had made lots of creative decisions to help me navigate this design, but in the end, those damn eyes, they're so mid. No matter how much I resized them, drew accents around them, repositioned them, it just was not gonna work. Perhaps I could have done what Mega Scarffles does and just have them in a completely different position altogether, or perhaps not. Live, laugh, laboove. And the crowd goes home. So what can I draw instead to fully realize my idea of Gigantamax? Well, lucky for me, there is a particularly triangle-shaped ice type that could be the perfect Pokemon for a Christmas tree. Enter Snorunt. Glalie and Frostlass both have Mega Evolution, so let's just give something to Snorunt too. I really love this Pokemon. Like, a cripplingly unhealthy amount of love is ripped from my heart and into Snorunt. The general idea for my G-Max is pretty simple. Big triangle that resembles tree with some kind of star on the top and a face in the middle. Lovely. Mwah. I started out with a big one and then I cut in a smaller triangle for where its face is going to be. Now, for some reason I drew the face like really small. Like, it kind of breaks the illusion of the Gigantamax effect, but oh well, I guess I'll just keep trucking along with it. Stranger things have happened on this channel before. Honestly, the general shape is really shaping out to be quite cohesive. I am really enjoying how it's all looking. To really give it that tree aesthetic, I segmented its body and I just went crazy with spherical ornaments. To be honest, I'm slightly kicking myself for not making these beasts feel just caught in a Snorunt's fur. Considering they both live in the same habitat, at least in Hoenn, it really would have done wonders, but I digress. Also, did I use that word right? I don't actually know what digress means. I just say it, but I digress. The last thing I did was add in a very non-specific star. I took inspiration from the dark type terrestrial crown for this one. Gmax Pikachu also has its electricity drawn in a really cool way that really shows off its superpowered energy, so I want to do that with Snorunt's ice energy. Now for the colors, they're all classic Snorunt. I did some ice blue and pale yellow and then added in red as a tertiary color to bring it all together. The same sort of red is seen on Frostlass and the blue is lent from Glalie, so it's a really nice way to bring the evolutionary family all together. Okay, it is now time for Gmax number 2. From the Alola region, we have Bounsweet. Come to think of it, I don't think there are any Gmax forms of Pokemon from generations 2 to 7, and also Gen 9, with the exception of Garbodor and Melmetal, of course. Like, they really only gave the bulk of them to Gen 1 and 8 Pokemon. So it's nice to think that these designs have actually very likely never been conceptualized before. Actually, it would be kind of funny if this specific Pokemon has already been made by someone. If anyone finds that, please let me know. I really want to make Bounsweet fly. I think it would be so fitting for this Pokemon. When I was thinking of how this Pokemon would look in-game as a Gmax form, I imagined its leaves would be spinning around and it would hover above everyone on the battlefield. So that's the vision we're going with. First attempt, trash. Put it in the bin. Second attempt, gorgeous. Once I had the main body drawn out, I went in and drew the face, which was extremely straightforward, to be honest. It's looking pretty good. I referenced Gmax Eevee, which is where these sort of brow lines come from. I put the clouds around its stem and then started to color in my design. It's kind of comical how much time and effort I've put into the other two, one of which was ultimately scrapped, only for this little mangosteen to take me 10 business minutes. The only real tweaking I had to do after finishing the design was just rotating the body and the leaves a bit to make the hovering look more convincing in the 2D art. I've already polished this artwork, but if I did it again, I would probably make the lines under the leaves curved instead of straight. That way the motion would be a lot more pronounced. Something I'm really trying to hone in on with my Pokemon styled art this year is being more technical with the polish work and really amping up my level of polish. It's like, I have all the right tools and I perfectly understand the methodology, but my final touch is just short of lacking. It's the year of the horse. I need to giddy on up and get good. Finally, we have one of my favorite Gen 9 Pokemon, Wiglett. It's such a funny Pokemon, guys. Like, just look at it. My first idea was really out of box, actually. Out of the box. I was going to have the perspective be a high angle shot looking down at the Pokemon instead of up, but unfortunately I drew these in 2025, so my New Year's resolution to take more risks wasn't in action just yet. Thank goodness I backed out though, because I'm about to make one of my favorite designs on this whole channel. Prepare yourself. Wiglett is based on a garden eel, and when you look at photos of these little creatures, you tend to see many of them just sticking out of the ocean floor like, hey, what's good? So I want to do that with my design. I want many Wiglett. I drew my main guy who's gonna be the big one, and then I drew a base for the guards as they were, and then copy pasted them to be in formation. Maybe a bit lazy on my part, but so is this. So, you know, let's just call a spade a spade. Once I finished up my assemblage of Wiglett, I was just gonna draw the clouds and call it a day, but I really felt like something was deeply missing, if that's even a term people use. It just didn't feel finished to me. So I started to add in some new colors on the body to see if perhaps an accent color would be the missing touch, and then it hit me. Icebergs tend to start off really light at the top and then they get darker the deeper they go into like this really deep blue. I'm not sure why this is, but if I had to guess, it's probably the lack of light hitting hitting it deep in the ocean combined with the freezing temperatures below, which might be causing some kind of chemical reaction with the pigments. So why not do that here with Wiglett? It's a water type, and so that's kind of ocean related, you know, just vaguely. I started off with some peachy beigey colors at the top and then made it more deep and purple and pink as I went down, and then just really light blue at the bottom. Look, my brain is just a WWE wrestling ring where my last two brain cells keep repeatedly hitting each other with a chair. There is not much going on. Regardless, I think the vision is okay. I think the vision has been completed, and now it is time, for the first time in this fine 2026, to take a look at what we have made. First up, we have Gigantamax Snorunt. It has rejected Cone and become Christmas Tree. It has the unique move G-Max Celebration, which will hit 5 times. Each time it will either heal or hit the opposing Pokemon. Much like Delibird, a Gigantamax Snorunt can use an attack that will either heal or damage an opposing Pokemon. The star-shaped energy that expels from the top of its head is so cold that it can freeze a person or Pokemon for 1,000 years. Next, it is Gigantamax Bounsweet, a very royal form for the Alolan Princess of Lush Jungle. Its G-Max move is G-Max Queenly Shade. It is a priority G-Max move that will make fire-type moves fail in the same turn. When Bounsweet Gigantamaxes, its leaves become so big and spin at incredible speeds. This allows it to hover while casting a large shadow that cools the battlefield below freezing. A part of Bounsweet's instincts are awoken when it becomes Gigantamaxed. This allows it to move first in battle with some attacks. And finally, it is Gigantamax Wiglett, which stands tall with its fellow comrades. It gets the move G-Max Wiggle. This move raises Wiglett's evasiveness. Using its Gigantamax energy, Wiglett is able to create entire ocean currents from scratch. It can send out a pheromone that other Wiglett can pick up on from up to 70 feet away. When its allies arrive, they gather equal portions of residual Gigantamax energy. Alright, how do you like my new G-Max Pokemon? Personally, I am a huge fan. If we ever get more G-Max Pokemon in the future, I truly hope we get to see more first stage Pokemon receive them. I think there's so much possibility. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel. I upload new videos every single Fakemon Friday or Saturday if you live in Mirage Island, just like me. And of course, a big thank you to the channel members. I really appreciate you all. If you would like to join the memberships, then you'll get your name here at the end of every single video, as well as access to a few awesome emotes for the comments below. Let me know what your New Year's resolutions are in the comments below, and also let me know if you've already broken them.